Welcome back to WaterparkRanger's Let's Play Pikmin 2. Sometimes when I say that, I wonder if I ever say, like, by mistake, automatically, welcome back to WaterparkRanger's Let's Play Wind Waker. Because after doing 110 episodes of that, I got kind of used to saying that, but who knows, maybe that never happened. And hey, that one just came back to life too. So, we're leaving behind our Groink buddies and heading down to Sublevel 8, which is fortunately a rest floor. No treasures to be found, but many purple Pikmin to be obtained. And it looks like, well, the exit to this floor is kind of out of the way. Wow, it really is out of the way. We have to take this weird bend and go around. All this stupid navigation. It's kind of interesting to note also that if you're using this camera angle in this dungeon, you'll notice that the walls that are like off in the distance of the rusty metal floors actually change the deeper you go. They start off being like caves with icicles on them, like cave walls with icicles on them, and then later on, the deeper you get, the ice from the walls just goes away. And then even deeper, they stop being cavern walls, and then it looks more like the inside of a building, which is kind of cool. It makes it look like the inside of Aperture Science. Like, especially if you played the first Portal, it's exactly like those last parts of the games where you have to go, like, through areas that basically look just like this one. So, I guess that's one similarity I always saw. Well, red Pikmin are going to be very useful, and reds and yellows, I think, are both going to be proven useful against the boss on the final floor here. It's one of those bosses that, because of its speed and how dangerous it is, I have a tough time recommending what crew of Pikmin to go after it with. Normally, I have a very elaborate strategy for doing it, so I basically lose no Pikmin. But because of my requirement that I imposed for this run, which is basically do an entire fight all the bosses with the full Pikmin crew, I can't exploit that. I'm probably also going to not use cover during the fight. I know that sounds crazy, but I might not use cover, because the whole idea of it is it's got dangerous attacks that are very fast, and it's actually recommended that you take cover to avoid those attacks. So I guess you'll be able to understand once we're fighting it. It's unlike all the other bosses in the game for a good reason. I suppose it's a little bit like the final one, but to say any more than that would be spoilerish. Anyway, as you can see, this floor is probably the best rest floor in the game. It gives you 15 purple Pikmin, which is why we're going to return here and do multiple runs, and 2 Queen Candy Pop Buds, so that's also a good reason to do multiple runs. Just enter with a slightly smaller party, and you can leave with a bigger party than you came in if you were very careful on your way down, as well as with all the purple Pikmin. Now, they give you a geyser, so you can escape if you'd like. This is also one of the levels where sometimes there's a glitch where the geyser... the way down to the next floor actually spawns very close to one of the rails, allowing you to walk on the edge of the cave and basically fall off the edge for a bunch of interesting glitch effects. I can't showcase any of them here because getting that to appear is a rare circumstance, though believe it or not, I've had it happen to me at least twice on this floor before, and each time, I basically just played around, like pushing the president off and seeing what would happen if I held down the knapsack and fell off, and all kinds of fun stuff. But enough of that. Time for the final floor boss, and they have a massive arena for it. This is one epic boss the first time you fight it and don't really know what's going to happen. Basically, what I would recommend is split up your party, and just at first take a bunch of purples and then wail on this orb right here by throwing them on. And then take your purples behind the geyser and then switch out for like reds or something. Because this is the man at legs. One of the most dangerous bosses in the game, no doubt. Okay, I'm going to take cover here. Basically, it shoots at you with a laser scope that makes it hard to hear what I'm saying, probably, because of how loud it is. So I'll speak louder to, like, make up for that sound. It really is quite accurate with those shots. One thing that you can do is have one person take cover so that it lures the shots to that person who's behind the cover, and then have another person try and damage it. However, you can't really hurt it while it's firing, so just try and run away and avoid its shots while it's firing. If you just accurately place yourself, like, behind cover, it won't be able to hurt you, but that's not foolproof, so... And it's bullets, it has plenty of them, so you do definitely want to be careful of it. So yeah, that's the strategy for this boss, basically, is at its base, it's hit and run. I'd also recommend using spicy sprays. Bitter sprays won't do much to it. If you're in a bind and it's just about to shoot you and you're not far away enough, then you can use a bitter spray, but otherwise, not recommended. And damn, this thing's being a little bit more dangerous than I thought it would be. Each of those little bullets is like an individual explosion in a very short concentrated radius, meaning that potentially one shot can kill multiple Pikmin at a time if you're not careful. So let's just run away from the shots here. It's tougher for the purple Pikmin to avoid them. Whoa! Oh no, not good, not good. Oh man. Wow. See, even like 2 bullets are very deadly to an entire squad of Pikmin. So this is one boss that does not mess around. This is a tough boss, no joke. There we go. And the boss is down! Awesome explosion, if I do say so myself. And wow, we lost even more Pikmin here than we did the subterranean complex. How many, I'm not sure, but I know we lost more. The mechanized monstrosity is no longer functional. Insect and a machine forming a symbiotic relationship. Life forms here are beyond odd. Initiating area scan. Last sphere detected. That's odd that the ship would say that, because I remember the first time, actually the first time you ever seen Onion and Pikmin, Olimar's like, what's with Onion? Is it half animal, half machine? So that really shouldn't be new to the research pod. I mean, he's supposed to have read through our notes. I mean, apparently he didn't read our journal from the first Pikmin game, though. To combine this glass sphere with synthetic sun I have been secretly developing. Processing complete. I have manufactured a solar system. Or at least an item called that. The artificial sunlight it emanates will brighten underground areas. Now look how much it does that. It almost does it to an extent that it just totally throws off the mood of all the underground areas. Like, I kind of feel like it makes the last dungeons of the game kind of lose some of that awesomeness because they're not dark and ominous. They're all bright and you can see everything that's going on, but, oh well, those are the breaks. 64 deaths. Well, I guess my prediction is slowly coming true. The next 3 dungeons will potentially put us at even greater losses, I'm sorry to say, but that's possibly what could happen. Alright, well, we're returning to the Valley of Repose, and at this point, we've got all the treasure in the above-ground area and all the treasure in underground. Now what I'm going to do is return to this subterranean complex over and over until we have the amount of purples that I need. And I'm also, each time I'm going in, I'm going to use the Queen Candy Pop Bud to increase our Pikmin amounts, because those are kind of falling to levels that I'm not really happy with. We might need possibly more blues. I'm not sure, we might want to get more blues, because... just cuz. I have no real good reason for doing... Whoa! Well, we don't have any reds. Maybe we should use reds. I'm not really sure how I'm gonna do this. Because typically I use blues because it's important to have blues because for the last 3 dungeons of the game, basically, there are significant points of it where they're just like, there's a treasure that's gonna have water, and then not having enough blues by that point is just horrible. There's a few feelings worse than that, believe me. Like a treasure just being out of reach because you didn't have enough blues to get it. I know that happened to me the first time I did the shower room, but ultimately that didn't matter because the Raging Boister basically swept my whole party. There we go. Maybe it's good to get these blues flowered up. I think that's a good thing. Huh? Eggs didn't respawn? Okay, well, I wasn't expecting that. As long as we're just going to the dungeon, one thing that I'm going to mention is basically more stuff about the Manate Legs. I'll just cut ahead so you don't have to wait. We'll just cut ahead to the dungeon, okay? I'll see you there. We'll cut ahead to that floor. Alright, we're just back at sub-level 8, just doing the routine so you can see. I've actually ran through the dungeon a few times, so I'm showing you this now. You really only need to bring 2 blues down. Just turn them this way using the Queen Candy Pop Buds. Just so I can get more reds. I realized that we actually had a surplus of blues, so I decided to turn them into reds, and then turn some of them into purple Pikmin. So that's my strategy. And, right, I was going to say extra things about the Manate Legs. My strategy, basically, split up your party, have one captain have, take all the Pikmin behind the geyser, and then have the other captain take them all behind. Take all the purples up to the Manate Legs, and then just toss them real hard on it, so that by the time it rises up, it'll have most of its HP taken down. Then run like hell, get back, and regroup with the old captain, and then switch out for, like, probably reds is your best choice. And then for the rest of the fight, use the hit-and-run tactic under the influence of Ultra Spicy Spray, and you'll be good. So that was my master plan for the Manate Legs. And we're going to leave the dungeon now, because actually I have enough purples in my party. Alright, I cut ahead from sunset. The president is crackling electric blue because I spent the last few seconds of the day trying to get him killed, but ultimately he survived, so we'll just have to kill him on another date. Sorry. But after Louis died, I'm having a feeling that it's just going to be tradition that each of the captains is going to have to die at some point. I'm afraid that that might happen to Olimar, but due to the last dungeons being dangerous as they are, I don't think I'm really going to have to try. And with that, we finished the Valley of Repose and all of its dungeons, leaving just the final area and that final treasure to get. As you can see, we got a ton of Pokos for doing that dungeon. great place to go, especially if you just want to clear the dead quick and early. Yeah, our red population went up. These are pretty reasonable amounts for taking on the final area, though I would like more. Ugh, 64 deaths. I have to say, that is just disgusting to look at. Ugh, I feel horrible about that. Louie, we suddenly stopped hearing from you. Everything okay? If things get tough, you can always come home. I'll stock up on those Pikmin carrots you love. Louie has a bunch of family members, but I never really was able to tell the difference between all of them, so I can't tell which family member that is. We'll do the final area next episode, guys. See you then.